Now, this video came out, went viral, and is talking about something very interesting. One of my favorite subjects, in fact. Dating. So, let's see what this lady has to say that has outraged the public so much.
Most a man should spend on a first date?
I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200.
I love the fact that she talks as if everything ends in a question. But $200, well, I don't know where she lives, but I think if I were to go with my wife with unlimited funds, even if I wanted to, like even if I did my best, I would not be able to spend $200 in a day. I mean, I guess like most of it would be spent on booze, right? Like even if you go to a very expensive restaurant, unless you're like in a very posh city, like not even neighborhood, city, like only a couple of places in the world have restaurants that expensive, and then you would have to spend the rest of money on booze, right? I mean, even with inflation, it is impossible here in Romania to spend that much. I'm just curious, like, is this something that you guys would be able to do in your country? Like, if you're not in a capital city, I mean, right? If you're not in a place filled with tourists, you're just, like, in an average town, like, would you be able to spend $200?
A minimum, and that's like being nice.
And what does the man get in return for that?
My presence?
What, aren't you having his presence within you already?
I hear you, but no. No.
Right, so this is why people are upset. It's because they have the communist mindset rotting their brain. They literally think that the social expectations for men and women is equal. They legitimately believe in the abolition of gender as if it doesn't exist. I mean, I guess you listen to a Marxist flap his mouth and you actually start believing him after a while. But in the real world, things function based on capitalism. You can't escape it. It's everywhere. It's supply and demand, really, right? So when you look at this young lady, I guarantee to you that she has a huge number of people wanting to date her. Right? Now look at you. Do you have a huge number of ladies wanting to date you? And if the answer is no, then there's no negotiation going on. Like, unless you're Messi, unless you're Ronaldinho, unless you're Hatfield from Metallica during his prime, then you too can set all of these boundaries. And you too can have like all of these unrealistic expectations. And chances are is that if you're Justin Bieber back in his prime, he could be the one that said, yeah, sure, I only go out if the woman is willing to pay for lunch. And I guarantee to you, he would actually have women that would be able to pay for his dinner just so that he can be there. And if you're asking, like, what do they get? It's like, well, my presence, right? It's supply and demand. Now, I will tell you something else that's interesting. It's very similar to marketing. This is why I like dating, right? If you know economics, you start to understand how human companionship works. This is what, in the name of marketing, we can call a premium model, right? It's fresh from the factory. It's brand new. Think of like the new iPhone. The new iPhone costs a lot. You have to sell a kidney in order to be able to afford it. Chances are, it's not even as good as some of the other phones. But it's brand new. It's an iPhone, right? So, if you want it right now, well, you have to pay a premium. But if you wait a little bit, you know, wait like 5, 10 years, maybe more, you'll see that the price goes way down. And if you wait even more than that, then people will just want to throw it away. Like, they don't need it anymore, right? Not even if they go to a second-hand store with a pawn shop owner want that phone, right? It's the same with dating. Like these ladies, they're the premium models. They're just, you know, they're getting a lot of attention because they're high in demand. But if you wait a little bit, then the expectation goes down. New premium models appear on the market. And that's that. Now, of course, for men, it's a little bit different. Usually, because as I said before, you know, the genders are different, but that doesn't necessarily mean that one is better than the other. You have advantages and disadvantages. So, for men, the disadvantage is that when you're young, you're not going to get a lot of women interested in you. It's because you're still living with your parents, you don't have a job yet, you don't have your own car, right? You probably lack the confidence, the self-esteem that comes from getting all these things. You're not in high demand, but as you're getting older and you manage to have a job, you finished your training, you're now making money, you got your own place. Oh, all of a sudden, a lot of women line up, and in this case, when you're successful, oh, you can even afford to spend $200 on premium models. I mean, it's how the world works, okay? When you understand capitalism, when you understand economics, all these things start to make sense. And by the way, just because something is expensive doesn't necessarily mean it's a good product. The iPhone is my perfect analogy. Like just because the phone is expensive and it costs a lot, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best phone you can get. So my point is, like, there are a lot of ladies out there which happen to be from a rural community, or they happen to be from a religious community, or just, women that aren't interested in things, and they're more interested in people and creating relationships and whatnot, and they will go out without you having to spend $200.
I mean, like, I'm
How
here
is
to
it
get
different?
to know you. I'm here to get to know you. You invited me out.
But he has to drop $200
Yeah, because
minimum.
Yeah, because you
Just
invited
because
me out.
you have to do your makeup.
Because I.
Yeah, so I don't blame this lady at all. Like, the only reason this lady is like this is because men put up with it. Like men are the ones responsible for creating this type of culture. Unironically, and unfortunately, it's a culture of narcissism, right? Like, when you think like that, it creates an entire different mindset. And it's not just going to affect, like, her dating habits. I wonder how this lady is going to act when she goes to a job interview or when she's acting with other women, right? Like if your mindset is like, well, I deserve me, it's going to influence other areas of your life. And I blame men for this, 100%. Women are guilty for the way men behave, and men are guilty for the way women behave.
I have to. Okay, so we're gonna do the math. My moisturizer is $400. My eye cream is $300. My serum is like another $300.
Yeah, I mean, the problem here is that she believes that she needs these things. But she does need these things in order to spin around the social circles that she spins around. So if she has, like, high-class friends, which have certain expectations, then she needs to wear these things in order to keep, involved in those circles. Again, the thing is, like, many people will say, well, do you want a woman like this? And the answer is, like, depends on the man. Like, some men do. Like, some men that are very wealthy and well off, they do want a girlfriend that is happy when she gets presents. Other women aren't like this. Other women may not like this type of behavior and mindset. But then again, we live in a capitalist society, which is great because you can choose, right? So I, for instance, would probably not enjoy having a girlfriend that thinks like this, but there are other men that do. Anyway, right, let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.